So this is the mold during cooling, and the temperature internal layer is approximately 160. We can observe just at the edges that there are little islands. Oh, and there's it releasing just there. So there's the mold actually releasing from the edge of the molding. I'll just look at the temperature here and see what we're at. So that's an internal layer of 150. Okay. So even though our temperature inside is telling us that the inside layer would be soft, we have started to release on the outside. That highlights how the polymer, the wall of a part, is not isothermal. There are large temperature gradients across a rotomolded part, and that's why if you cool it too fast from the outside, you can effectively solidify the outside layer while still having a molten inner layer. You see the release has happened on both sides of the mold now. And it will always happen there because this is the coolest part. The two sides, the two ends are the coolest part of the mold. That's simply because they're the furthest away from the heat during the cycle, the oven part. So we'll just check the temperature again. And we're currently at 131 degrees internal air. And we're still releasing. Now in a very large mold, the release perhaps would not take this long. Once it started, the weight of the larger part would perhaps pull it all away from the mold at once. You could say the release happened so early on here because of the very small amount of polymer at the edges and how we were cooling it so quickly with this fan. These are all observations which will help us to understand our process better. This is great for operators to watch and see what it is they do with those steel or aluminium molds that they can't see through. It's great for the product development in your factory because you can look at how different materials will process. It's particularly good for checking on granites and multi-coloured mouldings because you can actually see how they're moulding. We've got a few of those parts that we can show you here. So this was a multi-coloured moulding that we clearly overcooked, but it's also darker in the middle because there are more black particles towards the centre. It's also thicker towards the centre. And you can see how the materials have laid up differently. You can actually see here where some of the particles have flown and are just looking slightly stretched. So we're nearly all released from the mold, and in a few more minutes it will all be released and we should be able to demold it. So we are at 109 degrees internal air temperature. And you can see that we're still holding on to the mould in the centre here, but we've released it from the edges. Still quite warm, but just managing to touch it, the edges. The centre is still very hot. One of the reasons why it's cooler out here, apart from it being further away from the heater, is because the polymer has come away from the glass surface, and so the interface between the polymer and the glass will be effectively insulating the heat from travelling through. So very nearly released completely. You can see how the release is not necessarily a uniform release, but it's very patchy. A large lump here, very thin lines here. So let's have a look at the temperature trace just now.